So 2019 has been a pretty busy year. A lot of stuff has happened, and I want to make a video about it, the stuff. Also, I want to preface this by saying that this is more of a kind of a time capsule for me to look back on in the future. One of my favorite things about having a YouTube channel, or even uploading videos in general, is that I can go back, and look at what I was doing years previously. Maybe I'll look back on this video in 10, 20 years and think, wow, my perspective was different, or that's what I did that time. So let me go to January. Okay, so the day that I'm recording this is the day before New Year's Eve, and I remember I went to a New Year's Eve party in my friend Richie's house, and I got talking to Angus, who was a former classmate and friend of mine. Well, wasn't a former friend, still a friend. And we were talking about some of the video projects that I was doing. I was actually going out to film later that night in Shankill. It wasn't until 4 or 5 a.m. and I was talking to Angus about how I was going to create a story around this artist that I was filming. And he just had so many good ideas, and I was clearly very passionate about storytelling and making films in the same way I was. He was like, yeah, you know what, I can definitely help you out further with this project. And I was like, well listen, there's a spare desk in my office if you want to come in. And when we first moved into the office, we didn't have heating. And this is a photo I took of Angus working with a hat and jacket on in the office. I'm just going to consistently be getting nostalgic and forgetting my train of thought while I'm doing this. But anyway, straight off the bat, January, I can remember I did a couple of really interesting projects. I got to travel for work a bit. I went to Budapest with James Kavanagh, and we were filming a video for Blackrock Hair Restoration. He was getting a surgery from them and they wanted him to make some videos around that, and I was brought along to help. Another project that I got to do in January abroad was with Moxie band, and the way that came about was I had messaged their manager Colin like a couple of months prior, maybe a year even, and saying that I'd love to do more work with them. I just really liked the energy that the guys had. I was friends with a couple of them. I'd done a free video for them of them playing on Grafton Street, and threw that together in like 2 hours, sent it back over to them. They loved it, they posted it. And then I said to Colin, listen, I know the lads are going to Glasgow. I think they'd just been back from Iceland, which is somewhere that I've always really wanted to go. And I said to Colin, listen, it'd be great if I could go to Glasgow and, just follow them around and create a video. And so that's what I did. What else happened in January? I'll be cutting this around like footage of the jobs too. I'm showing. February was a great one too. I suppose the Moxie Glasgow video went down so well that I was able to go out to Canada with them as well. Flights to Canada are expensive, and I said, listen, I'll get my own flight so you guys can pay me back whenever. And I went over and I had a fucking blast. I didn't book a return flight at the time, and I spent the last week of that trip in Whistler. It was like maybe 10 days, yeah. I spent the last 10 days of that trip in Whistler with Lorcan, whose house I'm currently in. And yeah, that was amazing. One of the best trips of my life by far. March? What did I do in March? Some other stuff. Yeah, just general bits and bobs here and there. In March, actually, I had a massive slump. Angus had a cycling accident and was hospitalized for a while. Was out of work for like 6 months. So when I came back, and I hadn't really got much of the Moxie edit done at all, and that really stunted it. Yeah, that really set me back, honestly. I felt lonely in the office as well. Like, you go from the two of us working in there every day on stuff, really making good moves, to him not being there, and that was honestly very tough. Yeah, so that was late March. April was good. April I did not only my biggest project in terms of the rate that I got paid. I think after tax it was something like 1,500 euro, which I was like, whoa. It was also with Tesco F&F, which is like their style of like, or their like, you know, their in-house branded clothes. In May, I came out with my own line of merch, I suppose you would call it, baseball caps. For the first, you know, well, pretty much all of the previous 5-6 months I had spent wearing black baseball caps, because I just kind of felt like that was what you would do as a director. June, I dyed my hair blonde, and I thought it looked great. Personally, I loved how it looked. But in terms of maintenance, it's a fucking hassle. Like, you know, you have to have your special shampoo, your special conditioner. It just goes dry super easy, obviously, because it's dead. There's certain weather conditions that don't react well with this. I still don't know what those are. July, I did it was again the biggest job I'd done. I was directing a short video series for Electric Ireland through the agency of Pundit Arena.
And you can go back to it, things have changed. Nutrition,
that was my biggest project then to date. It was 4 videos and a crew of 3 of us, myself, Callum Murphy and Angus. For that, I think I probably only got paid for that like, it feels like a couple of weeks ago, to be honest. No, it was about 90, 100 days overdue, and that's by far one of the longest I've ever had to go for getting paid. But when it's a big sum of money like that, it can be challenging. It was fucking annoying, honestly. Anyway, c'est la vie. September, the first time I went to Electric Picnic in my life, and then I was filming for Moxie and for Kneecap, and obviously both of those were a load of fun. And I put together the edit for the Kneecap video. I was really proud of that, went down a fucking treat. And the guy that you can see at the start of the video, Dan Murphy, holding the flare, turns out to be the owner of co-founder of a travel company called Global Village Tours. Let me fucking check what I said to him first. Actually, I didn't even mention the Kneecap video at first. I messaged him on the 9th of September and I said, this is a week after the Kneecap gig. I said, Dan, how's it going? I'm a videographer / documentarian and I've been following your stuff for a while. I'm very interested in your Global Village Tours and was wondering if there might arise a mutually beneficial situation whereby I get to travel somewhere interesting and document the experience. And then he said, yeah, we've a tour going to Cuba. And I was like, sick. And then he sent me an email and we kind of worked it out from there. He said, have we met before? I just spotted my balaclava clad self in one of your Kneecap videos from Picnic there. Christ. I released this video, which I'm really proud of, especially proud of the sound design and stuff. Released this video of footage that I took from Cuba, just called it Sounds of Cuba. I suppose it's like a short. Wrote and directed and edited quite a big project for Henshaw Eyewear. Okay, like, I was so excited about it for ages.
When you live and work with an active lifestyle,
I was so excited.
You need to be able to keep track of everything.
Just because I really enjoy telling stories around sport. That's kind of what I feel like I'm good at. But myself and Angus wrote out a lot of scripts. And listen, Robbie's not a voiceover artist, but the scripts didn't really go down too well. We were struggling with the voiceovers for ages. The footage was good. I think it definitely lacked professionalism, But then again, I don't have any formal training in this. I just really enjoy doing the videos. Like, it's one of those things that I just can't really watch back myself now. And it's largely the case that, that I've just already seen it so many times, but also now when I watch it, all I can see is mistakes. And then I moved to Canada. One of the main reasons I wanted to leave Ireland was basically I was just going out too much. I was getting a little bit kind of hedonistic with the pint drinking, and it was really stunting my growth. I felt like I was getting too comfortable, honestly. I felt like I needed to put a new fire under my ass, put some pressure on, and incentivize myself into progressing as a creator. So that's what I did. I moved to a country where I didn't really know anybody. Obviously I had friends of friends, and the people that I did kind of half know were extremely helpful in setting me up at the start. Didn't really have the same opportunities to go out and drink every night that I did in Dublin. So the first thing I did when I got to Canada was I booked myself into a WeWork. I knew that I was going to have to find somewhere to do work. And I already had like a fairly sizable backlog of stuff that I'd filmed in Dublin the week before I left, so that I knew I would have stuff to do when I got over there. And I got myself a bicycle. A place to go and a place to get me there. Yeah, after a couple of weeks I finished up all the Dublin projects except for the ones that hadn't started yet, and it was time to start seeking out Canadian clients. Then I cut all my hair off. The blonde was too much of a hassle to maintain, so the hair had to go. I started my own video series, like of interviews. I've always really liked doing interviews, but never really had them done myself. I was kind of always filming them for clients or stuff like that, and decided to launch my own about a topic that I'm interested in, which is kind of hip-hop artists that are just starting out. I forgot to mention as well, early September, one morning I was listening to an Apple Music playlist called New Era, which is where they put in hip-hop songs by up-and-coming Irish artists. This one song came on called Cup of Tea, and I listened to the start of it and I was like, wow, this is different to what everybody else is doing. The guitar riff, the way the artist's voice came in and wrapped around it, and the flow and everything I was just blown away by it. So I found out who it was. I got in contact with Maliki, who's the artist, and I messaged him and I said, listen man, can I send you a voice note? I've heard your song this morning and I've got some ideas for it. So I did, got his number, sent him like a fucking 15-minute WhatsApp voice note. Was it that long? I had all these ideas that I wanted to put together into a music video, but he got back to me and he said,
well man, what's the story? Thanks for getting in contact. Yeah, I always appreciate people popping up, sending me a message, especially if it's creative ideas and something they can put their input or imagination on, because at the moment I am done with releasing singles now. At the moment I'm working on an EP and hoping to treat that and put all my effort into that. But with that being said, there's at least 2 songs I would like to make into a music video. Cup of Tea is not necessarily on the highest agenda at the moment for it. It'd be 2 unreleased songs that I haven't done that will be on the EP, but...
He sent it to me. It was Paper Prophecies. I didn't really like it at first. Listened to it a few more times and it started to grow on me. And I was like, right, we'll see. Let's set up a meeting and we can discuss some ideas. So met up with himself, the artist, and his producer, and I was kind of blown away by the ideas that they had. So I was like, all right, let's try and make this happen. I think what really benefited us most was the fact that we had to do all of our filming in such a short time frame. So we had to get everything done. We had like 3 filming days, and yeah, it was amazing. The behind the scenes I actually forgot to upload on this channel, but I will do that soon. But yeah, it was awesome. Great experience. That video came out recently to coincide with the release of the EP and some other live gigs that he was doing. and the reaction to it was brilliant. I want to see the light of it. It'll go down as one of the things I'm most proud of in my entire career, especially because it was the first proper music video I'd done. I'm quite glad that I waited and didn't just kind of give in and do something that was paid, and that, this is all kind of artsy-fartsy, who gives a shit? Artsy-fartsy, what about my artistic integrity? Yeah, so I've uploaded so far 2 of the episodes of that video series that I started myself. Third one's gonna get uploaded soon with Tion Gibbs. You don't know who that is, but you will. So far I've had a good few shoots in Canada. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of wish there was more. I wish there was more kind of solid stuff. I kind of figured at this point that I would have maybe kind of had something more consistent. But do I think that my actions have reflected the amount of work that I've gotten? Yeah, I could be working harder, definitely. But like, hands up to the holy baby Jesus, I could be working harder. But like, you know, you get to a new place, you're still kind of in holiday mode. 2020 is going to be the year for that. I'm going to be fucking flat to the mat, making gravy. Came back for Christmas, surprised my granny.
Hello. Jesus, I don't believe it.
How are you, Nan? And was lucky enough to have 2 shoots the week of getting back, and then another shoot on Friday this week. And this is my new biggest project to date. So I think the previous highest budget I had was 2,000, and this one's jumped up to 5,000. Which obviously for a person at this stage of my career, it's a huge deal for me. Honestly, I'm very proud of myself. June, I forgot to mention it as well. June was the first time I'd seen on an official brief director beside my name, and for me that was huge. I was fucking delighted with that, obviously. Here's hoping for 2020. I'm gonna make quite a specific list of goals, and maybe even some brief notes on how I plan to achieve them. And I don't think I'll make a video about it, but I'll do another video like this time next year. And yeah. Thank you. Honestly.
Fucking hell, Michael, you have done. I couldn't tell if you were messing with me. Jeez, I really didn't think this was gonna happen. Michael, I did not say.
Oh my god! Oh my god! What the hell?
How are you?
Oh my god! Oh my god!